Howdy. So it is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Cloudy and cool day here in beautiful Des Moines, Washington. I have a little bit of new facial hair. About once a year, I shave off everything off my face. And so for a couple days I have something a little funny, a little weird, a little different. A nice little gap there. Anyways, it's been kind of a blah few days. From my last update, I had a very, very, very acceptable weekend. It was not the perfect couple of days that I wanted, but much more often than not, I was making choices that were healthy, choices I'm happy with in the long run. Food, always an issue. Man, guess now that I'm 50, I should just give up on thinking that I'll get to the point where it's not an issue. I can still try to improve it and try to do better, but man, I don't think I can change my habits, which is not a Paul thing to say. If you knew Paul from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, my whole adult life before about 6 or 7 years ago, that is not something I would have said. Paul Swayze Hone, on the other hand, he likes to give up. No, I don't know. It's, you fight the same battle and you have the same outcome so many times over so many years, while in good conditions, bad conditions, when you kind of want to change, when you really want to change, and it's always the same ending. Man, is that hard to fight against. So, I don't know. It's been a blah few days, and nothing horribly wrong. I don't know. Just the regular ups and downs. So today's Tuesday. I'm going to focus today and tomorrow kind of on what I've been focusing on. Making choices that make me happy in the long run. Getting good sleep. Trying to do slightly better on my intake of food. Especially at night. That's a big problem. This is a bit of a bummer of a update. Usually I have a few positive things to say, some deep things to say, but yeah, I'm just kind of in that blah mood. I'm just, the energy level, the desire to keep going hard at something, it's just not there at the moment. I say as I'm walking up the hill before work, just so I get steps in, just that I do something healthy for myself. But I do get to see that too. Man, I wish the camera would give that more justice. It is such a gorgeous view with the mountains and the water. But here we are, we made it to the top of the hill. And life is good. I have a wonderful, blessed life. I have a wonderful wife. Job that I really like, that's really close to home, where they really respect me. My daughter's healthy and happy. She's got her issues, but it's kind of the generation issues. She's doing well. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of you, Zoe. I am. I don't know. I'm kind of more feeling the last chapter coming, and feels like I shouldn't be there yet, but I think I'm kind of on the second last chapter at the moment. I'm really close to body starting to break down a little. I am still 300 pounds, so it's going to happen a lot quicker and a lot younger than for most people. Feel my body breaking down. Feel my mind slipping a tiny, tiny bit, but my mind's slipping a tiny bit. And I just have a feeling that my decline is going to come pretty quick. And when that happens and I can't work anymore, we're kind of on last chapter, and it gets you sad. It gets you thinking about a lot of life. Thinking about what I'm not doing right now, and then when I have these blah days where I don't do much, then I dislike myself even more for that. Man, what a vicious circle we run ourselves around in our mind. But I'll tell you what, I've had a good life. I have a good life. I have a life that people want to hear about when we meet, when I've had different jobs across the country and different social gatherings. People start asking each other about where they're from and what they do. My life has been very interesting. My life has not been boring. And thanks to that, I've become the person I am, which I am very happy with the human I've become. Even if I don't like some of the habits of this human. And even if I think this human, quote unquote, could be doing a little better in this area and that area. I'm a good human. I really am. And that's not something I'd say 10, 20, 30 years ago. I was always full of doubt and always pushing and never taking a step back and really looking at myself, really comparing myself to all the people I've met. Not that I'm better than other people, but I'm just proud of what I've done, proud of who I've become. And I know the difference of what it would have been if I never left Buffalo, or if I held on to family ties that weren't really there and stayed there just for that, or if I had moved back there after I had to break up with Zoe's mom. That was one of the options. Like, I don't have much else, but I didn't. I made the good choices, made a commitment to Zoe. So I did the hardest thing I could do and stay in the Pacific Northwest, where I knew zero people, had zero jobs, had zero anything, and made this life for myself. Made this life for Zoe. That is really all I wanted to do. I wanted my life to impact at least one other person, to the point where it would impact a lot of other people from there. And I've done more than that. I've impacted Zoe's life greatly. Just like the people that adopted me affected my life greatly. And she is going to pass it on and be better than me and affect hundreds of people in her wake. And I've affected many people. Almost everyone that's ever been in my life, which there's no one now except for my wife. Almost everyone has left our relationship in a better situation than they started it in. And they're happier now than they were before we met. I'm very proud of that. There's still a lot of existential crisis that goes on in the brain, a lot of guilt, a lot of pain. But I focus as much as I can on how many amazing things this life, this existence has offered. Living in the best time in history, just from my generation of little technology to most of technology to everything being technology, and being able to experience all of it and all the people. Well, anyways, it's a good life. I'm happy. This year is flying by, and very soon I'm going to be giving my last update on this How Long Is a Year little self-therapy vlog that I'm doing, and it's going to be a sad day, but I'm glad I'm doing it.